Hey there, everybody. Welcome into the Ben Maynard program. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I sound great, don't I? Well, before we get into all that, a little bit of housekeeping. As you know, this show is available on multiple podcast streaming services, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, and the like. And if you absolutely have to see this pretty face right here and you can't resist, it's always available on YouTube. If you watch it on YouTube, I ask that you please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Comments are a little lacking right now. They really are. So, what can I say? I can't make you do it, but I ask that you do, if you would, please. And lastly, follow me on Instagram, Ben Maynard Program. So, holy cow, where to start? Where to start? It's been a week since we've talked, and see, the last episode was with my niece, Marina. That was fun. That was just, she was here visiting. Actually, I'm going to see her again uh, this week for Thanksgiving, but she's here visiting, as you all know. And so she just wanted to come up and see the studio. So I thought, let's just throw some stuff together and see what happens. And you know what? You're all watching it. And that's good because that's what this is all about. It's all about real people talking about real things, no matter how boring we might think they are, somebody out there thinks that, this is interesting and they want to just see people interacting with one another, telling stories. They don't have to be like I said, the most interesting story. Somebody finds it interesting, and so that's what this is all about. And anyway, so I don't want to get into all that, but I sound terrible. I hope you realize I sound terrible, and there's a reason why we haven't been together for a week. Boy, I spent the last several days flat on my back in bed. Man, the flu got me good. Let's just say that. It got me good. I haven't shaved in a week. Looks horrible. I'm not to say I look pretty to begin with, but this stuff here is not prettying me up at all. But there's some things that I wanted to discuss with you, and I think, gosh, I don't even remember now, and I've just been in such a fog for the last week anyway. But I think uh, when I was episode 8, the Loverboy episode, I think I may have mentioned. If I didn't, sorry, but I'm mentioning it now, that I was going to Las Vegas. My wife and I were going to Las Vegas to see Aldo Nova. And so I wanted to bring you a review of that show, and yeah, and talk about a couple other things coming up, things to look forward to. So that's what we're here to do today. But I'll tell you, it feels so good to be sitting back in this chair. Yesterday was the first day that I had been out of bed since Monday evening, and oh, just terrible. I'm still in a fog. I sound terrible. I sound horrible. I hope that I don't cough too much because that sound real professional, wouldn't it? But we're going to go with this just because I miss doing this. I miss being here. I miss seeing you, and I miss being able to talk with you all. So I did want to get started with some things that were going on this week. I had to postpone a show because of the flu. I was supposed to have a guest come in studio on Friday night. It was going to be such a bang up show. Oh gosh, it was going to be a ton of fun. The guest, he was looking forward to it, and I was looking forward to it. It was going to be a great thing. But unfortunately, it is what it is. We were going to do it again tomorrow. But then he called me at the last minute, and we have to reschedule. So we're gonna wait till after Thanksgiving to get this one in. But and it's gonna be good. I don't want to tip my hand right now. I don't want to jinx anything because I think I've jinxed one of my guests already I don't want to jinx another one. And I will let you in on the one that I think that I have jinxed. Um, I've put out a lot of invites for people to come on the show. I'm not going to get into the list of folks that I have invited, but one I'm going to reveal to you, and uh, I did a show featuring this artist not too long ago, and I reached out to Steve Jerry, and I sent him an email inviting him to come on the program, and certainly, you know, who am I to think that I could get somebody at the stature of Steve Jerry? The point of this is he can't say no if I don't ask. And that goes for anybody that I invite on this program. Um, I don't know if it's lofty expectations on my part or not, but I want to have people on here, one that are from my world uh, that have something to say, something that you're going to want to hear, something that we can all sit in studio and play with, whatever it is. But I also want to have people that you will know as well, entertainers, maybe authors, that type of stuff, those type of people. I do want to have them in as well, um, because I find them interesting. I know you find them interesting. Obviously, they've been on multiple podcasts elsewhere. So, like I said, they can't say no if I don't ask. So, so I sent this email to Steve. It's been a few weeks now, and lo and behold, I was going through my email and I see one that says your show, the subject says your show in big old letters and with an exclamation point. And I thought, well, what's this? So I opened it up and son of a gun, it's from Steve Jerry. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I'm not going to read the email, but I'll just tell you that he is very interested in coming on the show. He's listened to it a little bit. I mean, well, now it's a few weeks, so maybe he's listened to more than one episode. But I know he's a busy guy. He's as he even told me, he says, these days he's a weekend warrior. And for those of you who may not know, that means uh, in the music sense, an artist goes out on the weekends. They'll fly into a city, maybe on a Thursday night or a Friday night. They play a show on a Friday night or Saturday night. They're jumping on a plane and coming home Sunday. And, that could be anywhere throughout the country. So that's what he's doing these days. And I know the last 2 weekends, I think 2 weeks ago, he was in, um, I think it was North Dakota. And this past weekend, he was doing a show with the Bret Michaels band. So I know he's busy, but anyway, so he reached out and he said, hey, I'd like to do your show. Tell me what I need to do and so on and so on. And I was just floored. I couldn't believe it. So I replied to his email and, told him, hey, I gave him my, contact information and all that. Um, and let him know, look, just get in touch with me. We'll work out all the details. We'll schedule a time for him to come in and so on and so forth. Well, it's kind of sat there since. So I don't know if I jinxed it, but we'll see what happens. I would love to get him on, especially before the holidays, because a lot of musicians, they take the holidays off, check out completely, and want to be with their families and friends and that kind of stuff. And so I want to lay off. I don't want to disturb them or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, if I got an email tonight or tomorrow that said, hey, let's do the show tomorrow, I'd be all over it. So I'll make time for him. I just don't want, I'll make time for any guest really, but I just don't want to, I don't want to be that guy messing things up and you know, trying to get in the middle of his family time. So anyway, that's where that is. I hope I didn't jinx it, but you never know. I'm still crossing my fingers because, um, yeah, he's got a great story to tell. Definitely has a great story to tell. And I know a lot of people don't know that. So I want to get it out there. And I think he's just a great guy anyway. I think he's just a great person. Um, and I love his music. I love his voice, love his music. We talked about his new CD that he released earlier this year, and I certainly want him to speak to that as well. Maybe we'll talk about the process, whatever it is. Anyway, so I think the more I talk about it, the more I'm jinxing it. But uh, I was excited about it, and I didn't discuss it at all because I didn't want to jinx it. But it's been a few weeks, and maybe these shows are getting in his way and taking his time, and so that's why we haven't been able to hook up. I'm just hoping that we will. Uh, we'll see what happens. I guess I'm throwing it out into the universe right now and see if it'll happen. But anyway, so moving on from that, I had to reschedule a couple of guests due to me being sick. Uh, and I'm hoping Steve Jerry will come up. I just booked a guest earlier today. We're going to do that the week right after Thanksgiving. It's gonna be a great story. It's gonna be a great show, and you are not going to want to miss it. I promise you that. I promise you that it's going to be. I honestly think it's going to be a pretty compelling show. So, um, with that, I guess we'll just move right along. um, so Aldo Nova, um, he was in Las Vegas at the Golden Nugget, the showroom there at the Golden Nugget. That was on Friday, November 10th. So about 9 days ago now, I guess it is. And I'll tell you what, the showroom, I think I saw the capacity on it was a little over 700, and it was probably about 400 to 500 in there. Um, so it not sold out, but by all means, not a sparse crowd. So it was really nice to see. I know for me, when I go to a show to go see any artist that I like, I want to see a full house, whether it's a club, whether it's an arena, whatever it is. I think we all like that. I know the artists appreciate it, but it was a good turnout. It was a good turnout. I don't have it with me. Shoot, I left it laying around somewhere. I ended up getting a set list. I bought the set list. Okay, even though I will tell you this, I'll tell you this up front, and I'll probably go over it again later. But I was right at the front of the stage, not for the entire show, but I made it down to the front of the stage, and it was great. But I didn't grab one of the set lists off the stage. They had set lists for sale at the merch stand, and so I thought, wow, whatever. And it was autographed with that day's date by Aldo. So I figured out, I'll pick it up, frame it. Maybe I'll hang it here in the studio somewhere at some time or some point. But anyway, so it was a good crowd, and it ended up being Aldo's birthday. And at some point during the show, I think it was towards the end of the show, they brought out, I don't know, it was a cupcake or something. They brought him out dessert, and we all sang happy birthday, and he was very appreciative of that. But about the show, I'm going to tell you right now, his band tore it up. That was such a great show. This is what I love about seeing bands in small settings, more intimate settings, a showroom like this of this size, a club. It's like I said, it's very intimate. You feel like you're right up close and personal with the band. I think that the band themselves feel more of the energy from the crowd. And I think they want to deliver a little bit more for that crowd being in that intimate setting. And I'll tell you what, that band and Aldo, they delivered 100%. That's no doubt about it. and no two ways about it. He's got a great band, and I'm not going to go over all the members of the band there, but it's a 5-piece counting Aldo. He's got a rhythm guitar player, bass guitar player, a keyboardist, and a drummer, of course. And so they fill out the sound, great musicianship with these guys. And they've been playing together for a little bit now. Um, and you can feel that, I guess, camaraderie between them. These guys actually like each other. They don't just stay on their side of the stage. They interact with one another. They interact with Aldo. He does the same with them. And um, they delivered one whale of a show. I want to say it was probably about an hour and 20 minutes. They did 13 songs. I wish I had the set list right now because I would have read it off to you. But for the fans of Aldo Nova, they played pretty much everything that you would want to hear. I remember they started off the evening with Modern World. That's a track off of Blood on the Bricks, and then they came back with Monkey on Your Back. That one's off of Subject Aldo Nova, the second album. And then I can't remember everything after that, but I know that I was standing the whole time and I was pumping my fist and I was jumping up and down. And I know that it's good when my wife, who is not even familiar with Aldo Nova, says, "Oh my gosh, this was a great show. This is great music here." And she's enjoying it. I mean, I played one song for her prior to the show, probably after we had purchased tickets, which was like 3 weeks prior to the show. And of course I had to play her Fantasy because that's his big hit. And when she says, "Oh my gosh, this is great," then I know I'm right. I know that it's a great show, great musicianship. It was a great set list. Um, And I can't say enough about these guys. They were out there working it and they were working hard. And they were loving the interaction with the crowd. Now we went up to the front of the stage towards the end of the set. He ended the set with Fantasy. Um, and then they were supposed to leave the stage and come back for the encore. But they didn't. They stayed right on the stage and everybody just kept cheering for him and, said, "Hey, we want to hear more." And they finished up the evening with Medicine Man from Blood on the Bricks. Just another great song. Um, but it was so good being right there in the front of the stage. And I mean, I wish I could show you the pictures. Maybe I can post them on Instagram or something, and you can see them. But I'm standing right in front of the stage, and I wore my shirt. I had to promote the show, so I wore my shirt, and and uh, I'll share this too. Aldo is another musician that I have reached out to uh, to get as a guest on the program. Now he does no social media. I don't know if anybody's aware of that. And most of the artists, if you go on their websites, there's a way to contact them through their management or a booking agent, things of that nature. And so that's how I do this. But for Aldo, he only has Facebook. There is no contact, no management information, nothing on his website. And so I follow him on Facebook. I have for, I don't know, a couple, 3 years now. And so I sent him a private message, obviously letting him know who I am and what I do and wanting to have him on the show. Well, I haven't gotten a response from him, and that's okay. But I wore my shirt to the show and I'm standing right there in front of the stage, right in front of Aldo, and I'm like pointing at the logo on my shirt. And not that he's really paying attention to it. But after the show was over, the band stuck around, whooping high fives with people, shaking hands, that kind of thing. Well, his guitar player, Jack Frost, uh, was out there as well, and so Aldo was kind of walking off the stage, and I gave a holler to Jack, and he turned around, and I signaled him over, and he came over, and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm trying to get Aldo on my podcast. I've sent him a message. I don't know how else to get in touch with him. You know, maybe you can help me out." And he says, "Check me out on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, and we'll take it from there." So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to do that. So now I am following Jack Frost on Instagram, and he's following me on Instagram. So I intend to try to utilize that connection there to maybe get Aldo on the program. We'll see how that works. But I think they had one more show. Maybe they haven't played it yet. I don't recall. They either have one more, or they already finished that show, or played that show, and that's it for the year. And then they're going to start back up again next year. But I'm going to tell you, people, Aldo Nova is 67 years old. And does he sing exactly like he did in 1982, 1983, even 1991? No, he doesn't. But I'm going to tell you what, it's pretty darn close. It really is. It's pretty darn close. He sounds really, really good. He's playing amazing. And the songs, if you're a fan, like I said, you're going to hear all the songs you want to hear. Well, okay, I take it back. If you're a real fan, if you're a diehard, you want them staying up for 2.5, 3 hours. You want them to play everything under the sun. But you know what I mean. They played all the stuff that you would want to hear. They did a fabulous job at it. And when this band hits the road again next year, you need to check out a show. Get your tickets, check out a show. You will not be disappointed. And do yourselves a favor. Check out, buy a t-shirt. You can buy it on the website. You can buy the music. You can buy the music on the website. Whatever it is, support this band, because you know Aldo is never going to get beyond this level, really, playing by himself. Playing a showroom of a 700, 1,000, a large club, small theater. He's never going to get any bigger than that, because of the nature of the business right now and the music climate. Um, so take advantage of this, because these shows are going to be intimate, and you're going to be right up close and personal with these guys. Um, it's a great band, great music. He's out there just slugging it out and just uh, doing such a great job. And I can't wait to see them again. I will go again. I did. I bought a T-shirt at the merch stand. I told you I bought the set list. I want to support these guys. That's why I buy physical music from all the bands that I like. Whether sometimes I buy more than one copy. I already have a copy. I buy another one, not because it's a different release or whatever, but well, sometimes because I forget that I have it, or I think that I misplaced it or lost it or something like that. Um, but you got to get out and support these guys. And the more you support them with a T-shirt or a CD or a hat, something along those lines, the more you support them, the more they're going to be able to go out and do these shows. And like I said, Aldo Nova's 67 years old. Who knows how much longer he's going to be able to do this, especially at the level that he does it, the high level that he does it. He is amazing. So take advantage of it and help these guys out. Um, so that's I guess that's my 2 cents on that. But what was really cool about the evening is that after the show, uh, my wife and we hung around for a little bit um, outside the showroom. They had some seating areas, and so we hung out. And some guys came out, and I know they had some merchandise that they had Aldo sign after the show. I think it's some albums and stuff like that, CDs. So I started talking to them, and this is what I'm. But this is the point I'm trying to make here. I asked these guys, "Hey, have you heard any of the new stuff?" And they said, "Well, what do you mean new stuff?" And I said, "You realize that in the last year and a half, Aldo Nova has put out five, I'm sorry, what did I say? One, two, three, four albums in the last, well, I said two albums and an EP. And then one song that he played in the set, it was called Bitch in Black. That's off of his 10 song EP, The Life and Times of Eddie Gage. That's the first half of the rock opera that I had mentioned previously on another show that he's doing. He has yet to release the other 15 songs, but he did play one track off of that, and he did a great job. And they were unfamiliar. What are you talking about? What do you mean? I said, go on his website and look at this. I said, you get all this music off of his website. It's all available. And they were like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Even though they were holding albums of his that they had signed or CD. And so they had no idea. Well, this is why if you like a band, if you like a musician, follow what they're doing. It doesn't take much. We have an internet, that thing you just, you use the Google, and you just search your favorite band, your favorite artist, whatever it is. But that's why some of this stuff falls by the wayside as far as music, shows, things of that nature, because a lot of people don't keep up with it. And they don't realize that some of these artists are still quite prolific and still putting out music to this day. And though it's never going to get played on the radio because radio can't pull their heads out of their rear ends and get it straight, it's still up to us as fans to buy this music, to keep it alive, and keep these, keep our favorite bands out there on the road. And look, this is how the bands make their money these days, because people don't buy music anymore. So they have to go out and tour. They have to go out and slug it out on the road. Sometimes they're playing 4 or 5 nights a week in clubs to 20, 30 people, sometimes 100 people. And then sometimes they're just doing the weekend things, the weekend shows, the weekend festival, things of that nature. But this is how these bands are making their money now. They're not making it on selling music, but that music is there for us to enjoy. So it's our responsibility to go out there and do it. Buy the music, enjoy it, and help support these bands. And a great band like the Aldo Nova band. I mean, they're so good. I can't say I was surprised, because I was real hopeful that this is what I was going to get. I shouldn't say I was hopeful. I was optimistic that this is what I was going to get. So I was already, thinking this going into it, but just good stuff. So I'm talking to these guys after the show. They had no idea that Aldo has new music. So I directed them to the music. And then another guy standing there, and he's talking to me and telling me took a picture with Aldo and so on and all this. And we ended up talking, my wife and I, Catherine, we ended up talking to this guy. His name's David. I think all the guys I was speaking to last week were residents of Las Vegas. I think they were all local, but this gentleman was in particular, former veteran. So thank you to you, David, for serving. And I don't care if it's a week late, beyond, or a week beyond Veterans Day, but a salute to you as well, being a veteran. But just a nice guy, great guy, big fan of Aldo. And we just started talking, and he was telling me that he's a truck driver for one, but he also does a little bit of Uber driving on the side. So I'm thinking, all right, well, I got to get out of here the next day, get to the airport. So we exchanged numbers, information, all that kind of stuff. And I just gave him a call. I said, why even call a car myself? I'll call my new friend David and have him come pick us up and take us to the airport. And I'm going to make it worth his while. So we did. And we just talked and talked and talked. And just what a sweet guy, really nice, engaging. And what was so funny about it was as we got to the airport, he says, "Now, wait a second. Before you take off," he says, "when I pull over, I want to get out and take a picture of you, or not of you. I want to take a picture with you." I said, "Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I'm, I'm all about taking pictures. It's fine. It's all good." Um, so, so Catherine takes a couple of pictures of us at the back of his car. Actually, he should send them to me. He hasn't sent them to me yet, but, but I tell him where to find the show. Cause I told him I was wearing like I said, I was wearing my t-shirt that night, promoting the show. So he wanted to know all about the show. And, maybe that's why he wanted to take a picture. I'm not sure, but, he wanted to know about the show. So I told him where to find it, gave him all the information. And so what does he do? I mean, before I want to say by the time we landed at home, and it was less than an hour flight for us, he's posted on Facebook and everywhere else. I gave a ride to Ben Maynard of the Ben Maynard program to the airport, him and his wife, and so on and so on. I'm thinking he's making me sound like somebody that I definitely am not, but I appreciate it. And it was so funny that he was appreciative enough to what I did. And because look, we all know out there, and I'm pointing at the camera right now. I'm pointing at the microphone right now. We all know out there, I'm not a big deal. Okay. But he made me sound like a big deal. And that was kind of funny. That was pretty heartwarming. And so he had posted that on his Facebook, and then he started posting the links to the program. And look, that's how we get the word out for this show. It's word of mouth, and you folks, coming back show after show, checking it out, listening, watching, however it is you take it in. Um, but hats off to you, David. You're a great guy. And like I told you, I think I sent you a text message. I can't wait to see you again. Can't wait till we get out there again. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a good time. We'll go find a show to go to, whatever it is. He's a great music lover. Um, so who knows? Maybe we'll get him as a guest on the show and he can talk about his music experiences. So we'll see how that works out. But it's just great to get out and meet people too, talk to people, and especially when you're like-minded individuals and you have uh, a common appreciation or love for a particular band or particular genre of music, whatever it might be. Even books. Who cares? But when you're like-minded, it's nice to be around those individuals. Anyway, so uh, enough of that. Great show by Aldo Nova. Can't wait till next year when they hit the road again. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there front and center. And I hope you are there too. That's for sure. You won't be disappointed. If you like, if, if you're, if your only familiarity with Aldo Nova, which most people, that's where they start and stop, is with Fantasy, because it's Aldo's biggest song. But if that's all you're familiar with, you are missing out, and you would do yourself a tremendous favor to go check out Aldo Nova. You know, Stream the music, buy the music, and if he comes to your town or anywhere close, check it out. I can't say enough. I cannot say enough. These guys just really tore the roof down. They really, really did. Um, so look, with that, I'm going to cut it because you hear how I sound. And if you stuck around for the entire show, boy, hats off to you. I'm kind of clapping my hands here, but yeah, hats off to you for putting up with this. But I needed to do it because I hadn't been with you guys for a week. and I missed you. And I hope you missed me too. I didn't get one message on Facebook, nothing on Instagram, nothing on YouTube. Hey, Ben, where's the show? Thanks a lot, people. Yeah. Oh gosh. Anyway, um, I'm still looking at the bottom of the screen right here under my name that still has my email address. I'm going to take it off, but it's still there. I can't believe I haven't removed it yet. And I still haven't gotten one email. Somebody send me an email. Okay. Just send an email. You do. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it on the air. I'll read it on the air. I'm going to give your name, everything. Uh, just to prove that somebody actually took the time. I don't care what you send. I don't care what your email says, nothing. But you leave me an email. I'm going to read it on the air. How's that? Okay. All right. So with that, we're going to call it. We're going to call this. We're going to call this a wrap. Again, I appreciate you all being here. Um, Tune in. We're going to drop another show this week. This week coming up. Can't say exactly when. It's a surprise. We're getting near the holidays, so things are they're moving quick. They're moving fast, and whenever there's time to get in a program, we're getting it in. So there you go. Just stay tuned, and we're going to keep you posted on Instagram and everywhere else as well. And I apologize. Maybe you were all angry. Maybe that's why I didn't get any comments or questions asking where's the show? Where am I? Because I dropped the ball on that, and I didn't have my social media team put out a message that I was under the weather and not available to put out a new episode. Yeah, my social media team. That's Catherine. She's better at it than I am, and so she handles that for me. Anyways, folks, appreciate you being here again. That's a wrap. Um, if you're listening to this program, it's available on multiple podcast outlets. You know them. If you don't, search them out, and you'll find the program. Actually, I'm going to tell you this: you can go to uh, the Ben Maynard program. Let me look it up. Hold on, really quick. Let me see something here. Where is it? I think I saved it here. Let's look. Oh, I didn't. But you can go to the Ben Maynard program.buzzsprout.com. That should be it right there. And that's where my website is. All the shows are there. So if you don't subscribe to any of the other podcast outlets, you can hear every episode right there on Buzzsprout. Okay. And if I didn't even get the address right, which I'm pretty sure I did, it is mine. Then just go to buzzsprout.com and you can search the Ben Maynard program and it'll come up. Like I said, all the episodes are there. So multiple podcast outlets, Buzzsprout, right here on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, the Ben Maynard program, or I'm sorry, Ben Maynard program, but you already know that if you're following me. Anyways, I appreciate you being here, putting up with this hoarse voice, putting up with this ugly mug and all that crap. I needed to get that review of Aldo Nova out there to you. You need to know how good these guys are and how good Aldo still is. Anyways, thanks for being here. This is the Ben Maynard program. Tell a friend.